Caught me. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey. It's time for Chillin with Gilliam. So this is, I see Joe Fix It For You was in here earlier. There is Tamara. Hello, Tamara. David. There is Paul Honeyman. Hello, Paul. Sir Paul from England. How are you doing? And then Nanny Tam is telling us that says, I'm sorry I won't be here tonight. I'm visiting my daughter and son-in-law. Have a great live stream. Thank you very much, Nanny Tam. I hope you have a good visit with your daughter and son-in-law. Family comes first, guys. And there's Evelyn Newman. Hello, Evelyn. And Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing? And there's James Hall saying, hey, y'all. James Hall, y'all. And then we got, let's see here, going on down. I think I saw Lori's prepping for heaven. And there is Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse. I assume that he has reached part of his destination. He is traveling across the country right now. We got Lori Carp. Hello, Lori. And there's Angie. Yes, I've got some cookies. Look here. Check this out. There's John Goes Outdoors. How are you doing? And there's Ann Dale. Hello, Ann. How are you doing? Got my hands full tonight, but you are playing my ear. I understand. You probably got grandkids. If I had to guess, you probably got the grands with you. There's Serena Norrell. Hello. And there's Chris. Howdy, Chris. How are you doing? Almost just called me, huh? Well, kind of busy. But I'll have it open for you to come up here in a little bit, Brian. So come up on the screen and let's talk about it. There's Gary Ball, E3M. Hello, first time here, all the way from North Carolina. Good to see you, Gary Ball. Thanks for coming in. There's Troy Sutton. Hello, Troy. And let's see here. Everybody's saying hello to everyone else. Serena has an MRI on May 21st. Have to be there by 7:15 a.m. Got it at 7:45 in the morning. Yeah, I know about that early stuff. I do a lot of it. There's Eric and Tina at Rainy Ridge. Welcome. And then let's see here. Linda Peterson made it in. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. And there's Bowen. He said, hey, y'all, I'm on my phone listening. Thank you, Bowen, for coming in. Here's Rhonda Dotson. Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for coming in. And let's see here. There's Rusty Garage and Homestead. Welcome. If I can get myself to figure out how to get it on here with my iPad. It's not hard, Brian. Not hard. Just all you have to do is click the link. And it'll ask you if you want to do it with it's probably going to say, do you want to do it with either Chrome or if you want to do it with Safari or whatever. It's always worked fine for me on Safari on there, whichever way you want to do it. And then let's see here, going on down through the chat, just making sure I don't miss anybody. Now, you guys remember, I'm going to take a bite of this cookie, by the way. Good. So, I figured out. Anyway, I asked a question before I started the live. It's in the description. And the question was, what do you guys want me to do tonight? Brian saying, look, Brian, saying quit eating my cookie. So, I just want to know how you guys want this to go. If you just want it to be a chat, or if you want it to be a learning experience, or if you want to teach me something, that'd be great. I need to know I need a lot of that. Yes, I'm eating cookie. It's a good one too. Good evening, Johnny. Great. I don't have any cookies. Well, Angie's there. I'm sure she can make a cookie, surely. Where's Christine? She is running around in here right now. She is actually doing some stuff. And she said that she asked me if she had to be on here. I said, no, you don't have to be on here. If you want to be on here, you can. She's got a lot going on right now, so she's running around. Yeah, you ain't got none of those right now. Hey, there's Paul Case Farms. Hey, Paul, I saw whenever you kind of just left out of Rainy Ridge's deal and left your screen up and everything, just kind of bye and left. So how do y'all want to go? I gave you a chocolate chip bunk cake, Brat, says Angie. I ain't got one of those. How's that? Y'all just let me. Uh-oh, Serena. Hopefully they can figure it out. Well, she might pop in later. Never know. Never know. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let folks come up on the panel, whoever wants to, and we'll just talk about it. So there it is. I'm not going to tag it at the top. I'm just going to let it run every once in a while. So if you want to come in and talk to me about cookies, YouTube,
cookies on
whatever. Hey, Peterson Farm, how you can't sell my stuff? Oh yeah, they were trying to sell your stuff. That's right. Paul Case can come in. Brian, you can come in. Anybody that wants to can come in. See that? I told you. Anybody want to come in.
Thanks for letting me know I'm in that anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Anybody can come in.
Anybody.
Even Paul Case.
Even me.
Paul,
Even me.
Speaking of that, do what? Is that too loud? You hear something? You hear anything, Paul?
Christine's scratching around in the background.
She said,
"What are you doing?
I'm cleaning.
You'll get gypsum under your fingernails."
She's got the dryer running and she's asking if it's too loud. Is it too loud, Ann?
What are you drying? Rocks?
Well, no,
that's
we're not drying rocks.
Overalls. That's what overalls sound like.
It's my camo.
Oh
she's
yeah.
washing. She found a bunch of my camo and she's washing it up and getting it ready for, I guess the next time I go deer hunting or something like that.
I did that. Good smell of fabric softener too.
Or anytime you want something that matches your hat.
Mm-hmm. True story.
True story.
So, how have you been, Paul?
I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
It ain't been a very wonderful day for me so far, but.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that.
I took on a chicken litter spreading job for a neighbor of mine, and I loaded the old truck once, and I went over there and spread about 50 foot, and it made a noise that wasn't right, and I shut it off, and it had rolled the floor chain up around the back shaft on it. And so I took it back to the farm and unloaded what I could of it with the skid loader, which that probably only leaves a foot of stuff in the bottom of it.
Wow.
Or 2 or 3. So I spent quite a little bit of my time today unloading that truck with a shovel, only to find out it was that floor chain was broke in several places. But what the noise was it shearing the big gear in the worm gear box in half.
Oh, fun. Fun.
Yeah. This may wind up being one of those ones where we weigh out what it'll bring going across the scale of the scrap yards rather than how much the parts are to fix it.
Right.
I don't know. They're not place I have to get parts from is not open till Monday, so I don't know.
Don't know yet.
It wasn't all that great of a deal.
No, doesn't sound like.
Could have been a $600 day, pretty easy if everything had went right.
Yeah. Tony says scrap money. You're going for scrap. But yeah, I don't like days like that. I've had a few of them in the past. I think everybody that does stuff eventually has that, you know.
It happens.
It has.
However, I did just have on an up note, I had a cow issue just a little bit ago, and I would like to tell you about it, but I just uploaded a video,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess you'll just have to go watch the video.
Absolutely. I have no issue with that.
Borrowed one from Lonnie's playbook there.
I have no issue with that. None. As a matter of fact, I'd prefer it.
Maybe if somebody go watch that video and tell me if it was a good issue or a bad issue, that would be all right.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Check out Paul Case's video, guys. It's out there. And if somebody wants to throw up the link for that video in the chat, that'd be great. Hey, there's Annie from all the way from Australia. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So, anyway, whenever I started this live, I said, I'm going to kind of leave it up to everybody on what we talk about. And, I put up my thumbnail for the YouTube thing, but, I can talk about pretty much anything. Hey, Marcel, how are you doing? So, we can talk about, whatever anybody wants to talk about, but I can, if anybody wants to talk about the YouTube stuff, I can talk about that. I don't know what Paul wants to hear or any of that stuff.
I have a couple of issues with that lately.
Okay.
I thought I had all that AdSense stuff all ironed out. And then I get an email that I need to do this for that. And what it was talking about was the money from Super Chats. Well, I don't know if it records all of what I have give somebody else or what somebody else has give me, but when I count up all of what it gave me or all of what it had on my list, would have been like $225. And what they're wanting to do is send me a check for $2.25.
Well,
now that's not the confusing part. The first thing that I had a little issue with was they wanted me to verify my driver's license.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you have to go through that. And anybody that's out there that hasn't been through this isn't going to know that. And you're going to get that email and think, is this some sort of scam?
Scam, right?
And so I had talked to some people on here before I sent them my driver's license pictures. As quick as I got that sent, it didn't take very long, like 3 or 4 hours. And it was even on the weekend, I think. And then it comes back with, now we got to verify your address.
Yep.
And so I guess I'm waiting on a piece of mail to come in my address.
You're waiting on a piece of mail. Have you gone through the point where they want to put a few pennies in your bank account yet?
Mm-mm.
You'll get that one. That'll be your next one.
So I need to get routing numbers from my bank, or
yeah, you'll have to give them your bank account number, and what they're going to do is they're going to send. They're actually going to put a certain amount of money in your bank account. They're going to. I can't remember if they mail it to you or if I think they mail it to you, and ask you how much they sent and put into your account. I think whenever they did mine, they put in 10 cents into my account. And then I checked. Tony said his was 7. I think mine was 10. And it's all different. So once you get all that stuff lined out and they realize that you're a real person and everything, then it's actually pretty, standard after that. Just whatever you do, don't set yourself up as like an LLC or a corporation or something like that. Just do it in your own, just do it as a personal type setting. Your AdSense is personal account, not as a business. Because if you do a business, they're going to want your website number or your website address. You're going to want all kinds of different things. And, I don't have a website. I don't know if you have a web. You might have Paul Case Sawmill.
No.
At, whatever. I don't know.
I don't. Did you set up a different account at your bank for that then?
No, it just goes into my regular account. It just goes into my regular account. It's been going in there for over a year now, and I've had no issues at all. I mean, so.
Well, my regular account
year and a half, I think.
My regular account has a lot of stuff go into it and out of it because I cut logs and sell them, and then I have to pay the people that I cut them for and everything. I don't know if I'd notice if something hit it. Just be real honest about it. I may go, and they'll let you start a free checking account at my bank, so I may go start a new checking account for that.
You can do that. Yeah, you can do that as well. I mean, and just have, and that way, every time you get anything from Google or AdSense, you know what it is, And what's really weird is whenever it starts coming, it's going to show up like a royalties or something like that. And like my tax person, the first time, I showed them that stuff, they're like, well, what's this? And I said, well, it's from YouTube. It's from making videos and stuff like that. And so it says royalties. And I said, yeah. And I said, but it's not. It's actually just, it's not like oil royalties or anything like that. So,
well, they might get in trouble for keeping as much of your money as what they do. If they called it like pay for advertising or something.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
look at there. James Hall's been over there watching videos.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you got the other thing is whenever you get super chats and stuff like that, they take quite a bit of that super chat whenever you get one. It's like 35 or 40% of it YouTube actually takes. So yours is individual, Tony. Why are they asking you what your website is? He said they're asking what his website is whenever I was talking to him the other day. And, we got somebody else here. Hey.
Hey, how are you doing, everybody?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Brian?
Let's see. Where's my chat? Yeah.
Looks a little bit like he might be in a motel room somewhere or something.
Yeah. He looks like he might be not in New York anymore, maybe.
Weary traveler, sir.
Why can't I see the chat?
All
right, I'm just going to have to trust you guys with the chat because I can't see it.
I have to click it over onto comments.
Yeah, you have to click over to comments, and then you can't see us. Whenever you're,
I don't know what you're on. Are you on a?
He's on an iPad, I think.
Yeah. That's okay. We'll go with
it. So we got Brian in here. Tony said hello.
I hear laundry.
You hear laundry? Well, good. That means the dryer is working.
Something I'm gonna have to do after I go cow pattying.
After we go cow patty, I'm gonna show Brian some of his first ticks. He said he has seen one.
First. It won't be my first. It's just been a long time.
Well, you heard about the old boy from Texas that come up here to northeast Oklahoma.
Yeah, you don't see him
riding
anymore?
around with a rancher up here. He saw something run across the road, and he said, "What was that?" And the rancher said, "Well, that was a white-tailed rabbit." He's like, "What? The ones in Texas are 3 or 4 times that big."
Hey, Amy.
So they go on up, and there's a white-tailed buck jumps across the road. And the guy from Texas says, "What was that?" And Okie says, "Well, that was a white-tailed buck, a really nice one." He said, "Oh, that's a little one compared to the ones we got at home." Of course, the Okie's getting a little aggravated by then, and there's a big old loggerhead snapping turtle strutting across the road real slow. You know how they do. They like that hot road. And the Texan says, "What's that?" And the Okie says, "Don't you have ticks in Texas?"
Hey, Musgrave family. Hello. Thanks for coming in. So, Brian, how are you where you want to be?
I am in Effingham, Illinois.
Effingham. I can see. I'm trying to figure out how somebody named that.
Yeah.
It was
Something about
was them 2 old guys on Hee Haw named that one.
And she was gone.
Hey, Janae. There's Marichu B. Hello. How are you? Uh-oh.
There's Oreos over here.
Chris, Johnny accidentally deleted a comment. Whose comment?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Angie, comment again.
I want to know what she said the first time.
Where was it? I don't even see it in the chat. Oh. Sorry, Angie. Christine said sorry. She deleted your comment on accident somehow. She butt deleted it.
And there, Angie, now you know what it feels like when you tell Tony to shut up.
Oh, I saw that one. Too. There's Dexter.
Get your laps ready, people.
Get your laps ready. Dexter's going to want to sit on everybody's lap. Yep. So, Paul, are you going to be able to make it to the meetup?
Nope, ain't no way.
Hey?
No way. Not even if there was food. They seem to think I need to work.
Eat yours.
So
I don't know why they think I need to work, but
don't they know priorities?
I told Trey they can't make you come in if you're sick. But my boss is a jerk, seeing how I'm self-employed.
Serena, that is Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse. So Serena was asking who you are, and I said that's Brian of the Vineyard Farmhouse there. So,
Brian, are you a native New Yorker?
No, I was from California originally,
yeah.
Yeah. Till I was 10, and then I moved. So mostly in New York.
Yeah. I told him I was going to send him home with an armadillo.
Ooh.
You know, they don't have them up there.
Dexter,
I think they came
Dexter
here
would
from
just cuddle
California.
with, he'd just cuddle with it. Oh, good. Something to cuddle with.
You'll think you got a kangaroo if you ever walk up on one. They jump like a kangaroo around. So yeah, we saw the comment. I never did see it missing. I mean, I saw that one, but yeah. And there's Janae is telling who all's on here. So, but anyway, so Brian is, I don't know if anybody knows, but Brian is actually on his way here. So he's gonna end up here tomorrow evening late. And
that late.
huh?
I got here around 5.
Yeah.
And there's less time to drive.
Okay, so what time do you think you'll be here?
Well, I might sleep in a little longer than I did this morning, so probably about 5.
Okay.
That's not late.
Yeah. Well, that's
maybe less. Depends.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go out tomorrow. You know, it's Mother's Day, so we're gonna go out and eat for Mother's Day and stuff after church and stuff, huh? After church, and so, but we'll be here. Paul Case Farm says peas and carrots.
Did Paul tell a story and leave?
No, he's still here.
Okay.
He's still here. He hadn't disappeared yet.
That's how you say hi to Janae. If you're
Peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots, always together.
Always together. Hey, Midway Farms. Hello. Welcome in.
Is that cutting in and out for everybody else or just me?
What?
It's like your pictures disappear. Yours and his pictures disappear from time to time.
I think it's got to be you.
Probably.
So
Did you see
you're
the
pretty
picture?
blurry. You're pretty blurry to us.
Really?
Yeah, I see Paul Case just perfectly, and you're really blurry. But, you know.
Huh.
It's
I see
scary
it
if you
totally
can
clear.
see me very clearly.
Are you on that hotel Wi-Fi stuff?
No, I'm going off of my phone
Okay.
because I have unlimited. Yeah, I won't go off the Wi-Fi. In fact, I was just hearing a story on the way here about the Wi-Fi, insecure Wi-Fi's that you can get on and have your stuff taken.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Bodie. Bodie made it in. Liberty Layers hideout. And so Bodie's gonna be over here. Now, the other question I got is anybody gonna be able to make it to JL's this week?
I don't know how that would work.
You don't know how that would work either?
No.
That'd be hard to do.
You was talking about Tuesday?
Well, I'm talking Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Wednesday.
Yeah.
I brought
Monday.
my phone closer. Is that any better?
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays are not that great for me to get away.
Yeah, Thursday's the day we go down to we actually go take our camper down to Eufaula.
Is Tom and Anita going to Meetup?
No, that's what we were just talking about.
Aw.
No, he said his boss is a jerk. He can't get off.
Tell Paul to stop it.
But he does give me Oreos after.
But his boss gives him Oreos. My boss gives me, these.
I've seen them cookies.
Yeah, look at that.
If you're calling me your boss, you're full of it.
I'd rather have them than Oreos. But
You got to stop him from eating all my cookies.
Give me the cookies.
No.
What?
She said, "Give me the cookies," and I said, "No."
my wife made up a bunch of peanut butter cookies, and a friend of mine was checking cows with me. We stopped at the house, and he said, "Oh, them are really good." And she said, "I made a whole bunch more of them than I meant to." And she made him up a bowl about that size that you've got. And he brought the bowl back, and Anita says to his wife, "How'd you like the cookies?" She said, "What cookies?" Apparently, he left here and went up to the truck stop and bought him a gallon of milk and sat in the parking lot and ate all of them before he went home. She never even knew what was in the bowl.
I need to say hello to Troy at Bar Run Forge. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Troy.
So I don't get to see Anita Saturday.
No.
Well, golly.
So Tony's asking if you're coming, Christine,
When?
to the meetup
Saturday.
Saturday. She's coming
I
Saturday.
had a really big boss.
She actually does have some bosses. So she
Blonde got a comb over.
so
That's
she
okay, Christine.
she said her boss has a comb over.
But he's cool.
He's cool, kind of orange.
That's a syndrome.
I really do have a boss too, but the one that's been compelling me to work lately is almost out of logs to saw, and it ain't me.
Oh.
Yeah. I do have a picture, though, of this last week of the take. We got to a point on Tuesday, and it rained on Wednesday, so we wasn't able to work, but we got to a point on Tuesday where we had to quit. And this is Kevin and what's left of the equipment when we was quitting.
No.
Yep, that was the gas jug.
You landed a tree on it?
Not on purpose. He had it. The thing wound up. He had it cut to where it was going to go this way, and it stuck his saw. So I was trying to get around to where I could push it off from his saw. And while he's standing there, he's holding on to pull rope. Got the motor shut off, holding on to pull rope, and it goes. And that jug was sitting on a stump, and you should have seen the gas. It went 10 foot in the air.
I bet.
Did he video it?
And
Yeah.
he watches these TikToks and stuff, and he told me, he said, if I see one more TikTok, this has been about 2 weeks ago, if I see one more TikTok where that guy says, I know what the problem is, it ain't got no gas in it, I'm gonna flip out, that's what he's telling me. I'm gonna flip out or whatever. And I said, hey, you know what? I guess we're quitting. And do you know why? And he says, why? And I said, because they ain't got no gas in it.
Yep, ain't got no gas in it.
I can't say too much. I have run over his gas jug before while I was hauling logs, and he really gets upset when you do that.
Yeah. That good thing you weren't standing. Didn't get that gas. Whenever it gets in your eyes and stuff like that, it's a bad deal.
Yeah,
I could just imagine that gas jug basically exploding.
it did. It exploded.
And you can wherever you're at,
Yeah,
pretty wide area it can get on you.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And I think that oil that you have to mix in with it makes it stick better. That's my excuse. If you get it on you, it's like on you.
Yeah. Troy's saying it would be fun to hang with y'all next weekend. Maybe someday. Yep, maybe someday, Troy. Serena has said something about she saw a video of about somebody who was showing how to make their chickens a dust bath. Our chickens make their own dust bath. They just kind of do their own thing. So we don't have to build them a dust bath. They make their own. And then she said, what does everyone raising animals do about food and water for them while at the meetups? Well, since the cattle are eating on grass right now and we got ponds, we don't worry too much about them, not that much. And the chickens, we got a big old trash can with a bunch of those things where they can eat around the bottom of it. Well, I just fill it up. And then we got I think it's a 35-gallon waterer out there. And
there's somebody you should tell about the meetup. Mike from the Rusty Garage and Homestead that was right above Serena's comment. He wound up having to work when we had 10 killer.
Yeah.
He's at Chelsea. I don't know what he's doing this weekend. I bet he has to work. What do you bet?
So, oh, you're getting it now? Good.
Wonder if I could harass him into going anyway, and I'd run over and pick him up and just go down for the day on Saturday if I could make it. Just don't know how it's going to work from here.
Serena's asking if I have protection for my chickens from predators and potential bird flu. Yes.
I haven't heard of any home-raised flocks and the avian bird flu being a problem.
Yeah. I don't worry about that part. The predator thing, I've got it under control. So, but anyway, the Rusty Garage and Homestead says, guess where I am now, Paul Case? At work.
At work.
Yeah.
Work.
Hey, Jesse and Lisa. Working on getting the RV ready for the Mid-America trip. So they're getting ready to head this way.
So what are you doing Saturday, Mike? Come on,
Ed. Excuse me?
Mr. Mike, what are you doing Saturday?
I bet I'm the first one getting started.
Well,
nobody else is on their way, I don't think.
We loaded our camper today, says Angie. I have got to go out there and clean mine. Now, I had something, a couple of days ago, I got a hint of something. But today it was a really big hint of something. Apparently, I have had a mouse die in my truck somewhere. And I'm assuming it's way up behind the dash from what I'm, gathering. What?
I'm up for a Knott's sandwich, but they ain't open on Sunday no more.
Hey, be better. So,
that's not the truck we're driving in, is it?
Huh?
Is it the truck we're driving in?
Oh, absolutely, every day. It's happening.
It's probably on my side underneath the air conditioning fan.
Yes, the same truck. But you know what? I was cleaning it out today because I was looking for it. I was cleaning it out. I was vacuuming it. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And so I found out where all the mice are getting in. Right there under the clutch pedal, there's a, back behind it, there's a hole about that big around right through the firewall. And it's a factory hole. And I'm sure something went through it at one time, and it probably had a grommet around it and all that stuff. Well, somebody has taken whatever goes in that hole out, so it's just a wide open hole about that big. And that's where everything's coming in and out of that, because I was wondering, how's anything even getting in here? So I'm going to go buy an actual rubber freeze plug, the ones that you tighten up and they expand. I'm going to go get a rubber freeze plug and put in it. For all you gents in northeastern Oklahoma, I'm in northeastern Oklahoma. Paul Case is in northeastern Oklahoma. And the Vineyard Farmhouse will be in northeastern Oklahoma tomorrow.
How you spell Eufaula?
Eufaula.
That's what I thought, but apparently my spell check wants to make that something else.
Yeah, it's Eufaula. Johnny, you going to have my rental there on Tuesday? No. No. Unfortunately, it's going to be Thursday before the rental gets down there. And the rental is going to be just riding around with us, I guess, in the mouse funk truck. What? Our Honda. Jesse's asking about the Honda. So, anyway, there's a bunch of folks in Oklahoma here. Put a bunch of dryer sheets around under your seats. They help deter even country mice and such. Yeah.
My brother had a mouse one time that killed his truck. It ate through the coating on a wire, but it apparently electrocuted the mouse and stuck him where he was at up under the dash. And I'm like, that's nasty. But then he couldn't drive his truck, and he's like, I don't know. This was a bad deal all the way around.
I had one of those bad deal trucks. I had to get rid of it.
But anyway, last time I had one do that, it was in my, I think it was my 78 Trans Am that I used to drive around all the time. And that wasn't even that long ago. That was just a few years ago. I had one die in that thing, and I finally found it. It was under the back seat. We put peppermint oil in our car. Okay.
That's supposed
Y'all
to.
have any auctioneers here around Northwest Arkansas or Northeast Oklahoma that you recommend avoiding?
Recommend avoiding. That's like not recommend, right?
Yeah. I haven't run into any yet. I really haven't. They've all been really good. I did have an instance one time where they said sold. I had there was a grill for a 1972 model Chevrolet pickup. It was in perfect condition, and they said everything between this spot and this spot right here, and they started the auction. Okay. And, I was a high bidder on everything, it was anything in that area, one time the money. I mean, not one time the money. It's however many pieces you wanted times the money. So I won the auction. They said sold. I said, I want that grill right there. And some guy in the crowd goes, that grill was in there? Yes. You need to pay attention. And he goes, well, I was going to bid on that grill. So he started the auction over again. And that one pretty perturbed me quite a bit. So I'm just, that one was, it was actually, let's see, who was that? I can't even remember who the auctioneer was right now. Okay. It was one of the guys that auctions for McKinney, but I do like the McKinney auctions. Watch out for old Dwayne Craig auctions. You know what? Guess where I was today? I was at the Dwayne Craig auction, and I bought several items. Yeah, Evelyn, that one wasn't very cool. Yeah. John, the way I am, I would have said give it to him and walk out, right? Yeah, it was that one was kind of aggravating. I've seen them before. I've seen them say I'm sorry, I've already pulled the trigger on it. Yeah, I was in Concord today. So.
Well, you drove halfway to my house and didn't come see me?
Yeah.
You hear I was scooping crap or something?
I was up that way. I sure was. And there was a big race actually going on up at Mocan today, a big race.
Really?
And I sat there and looked, and I go, well, I might drive on up to Mocan and watch some of the racing. But I looked, and it's still over 2 hours away from where I was. And I was like, oh, I don't want to drive an extra 2 hours up there. I need to go check on the cows. I was headed there until I saw the auctioneer.
There's a local auctioneer to us that he does this thing that aggravates me to no end. It takes him forever to get through a sale because he'll start let's just say he is going to sell this cup, and he knows you can go to town and get a brand new one for 50 cents. He'll start out trying to sell it to you for 60 cents.
Yeah.
And then go 50, and then go 45.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought you were supposed to start at the bottom and go up.
Well, they always start high and go down. Always.
Not always.
Always. Everyone I go to does.
Why they got to be so
Everyone.
aggravated? Hey, a lot of those guys have a method to that madness. And if it's a consignment auction, watch. The number they start at is the number they have to get to a lot of the time to sell it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I've been to some that was like that.
Well, I know some of them are wanting you to, they're hoping somebody will just jump, kind of being excited, like excited puppy or something like that, and just they hear it, oh, I want that, and they'll jump, then they're hooked.
Nope, it wasn't him. It's that guy's name's Jim Livens that does that so bad. I bought some combine headers at a sale that he had. He couldn't get nobody to bid on them. They'd already stole parts off from them and stuff. And I was thinking, God, I'd give $100 a piece for them. And it's only 7 miles over to the recycler at Commerce. I think my oldest son was with me, and I said, Scott, what do you think them weigh? He said, more than 2 tons. I'm like, okay. Scrap was 175 a ton then, so it don't take long to put that all together. So that day I only bought 6 combine headers, and they only sold one other one, and that guy wanted it because it was all still complete. And that other guy, he only gave $120 or something for the other one. He left and took it with him and didn't pay for it.
Oh.
They come over there.
Have his driver's license.
Are you the guy who bought them combine headers? And I said, yeah. He said, we loaded that one and it's already missing and it ain't been paid for. I said, well, I already paid my bill. And
Paul, are you near Peoria or Quapaw?
I am north of Peoria.
But anyway, yeah, I went to this one Thursday. I went to one at Broken Arrow. I'm going to call that one the mud auction because everybody that pulled in there got stuck. And it was another testament of why I never take a trailer to an auction. Because there was people bringing trailers, and there was absolutely not one place on that property where you could park any vehicle whatsoever. So all the parking was up and down the sides of the road, and those guys brought big old trailers and all that stuff. And I was like, man, if I was going to do that, I'll go home and get my trailer and come back, tomorrow and load it up or whatever. It ain't that big a deal. Says folks are building a place south. His folks are building a place south of Peoria. So going to be your neighbor over there.
Oh yeah, I got lots of neighbors. There's practically a house on every 100 acres anymore or less. And that's a weird thing. You get just across the line from me in Missouri, there's hardly any 40-acre parcels. They're
Right.
all broke up into littler pieces, and families have aired out their farm, and part of it goes to one child and part of it another, and they all build houses on it. And
Right. And see, over here, we actually expanded ours a little bit. We made it a little bigger than it was. And, yeah. So, and that's
Serena, buy bidders are ones who are there to bid up the auction to make a item bring what they want it to bring. And at an absolute auction, the auctioneers really get ticked off at you if you put something in a like a consignment auction that's supposed to be an absolute auction, and you show up there and bid it up or have somebody bidding it up. They don't want you doing that. That's what they call buy bidding.
Yeah. So I was looking in here. I was seeing Amy's putting out some links and stuff like that. If I missed you, Ginger, if you're in here, I'm sorry. Hello, Ginger, if you're here. I see Amy and Chris are here, and Amy's doing a bunch. She's just putting out a bunch of links and stuff like that. So everybody go check them out. All the people out there. Saw a big farm listed for sale just east of it. Already worried about the processing facility going in outside of Quapaw.
Have you guys heard about that? They're talking about putting in a manure processing facility that will make some kind of gas out of manure from these big factory farms. And yeah, that's what they're talking about, using chicken waste and all kinds of stuff out on that. And what it's going to produce is some sort of energy and a sterile dirt that won't grow anything.
Sterile dirt.
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
Yeah, well, we don't, but in the name of making more energy for, people to consume on charging their cars, we're going to turn something that is not a problem into something that will be a problem. They can't figure out what to do with what they're going to come away from it. And he said there's a big ranch that's for sale next to it. Here's a fact for you. The guy that owns the place that's for sale was the one that was in a automobile accident with his 8-year-old with him on a side-by-side, and his 20-year-old son ran them over from behind with a pickup truck.
Oh my gosh.
And the 20-year-old wasn't hurt, but the other two were threw out of the side-by-side, and that's been almost a month ago. And they're both still in rehabilitation.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's.
But the place is still for sale. They used to raise a bunch of cattle, but originally that was a dairy.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody else even knows it. Quapaw, Oklahoma was a stop-off spot for cattlemen to buy hay at one time, and they shipped hay out of Quapaw, Oklahoma by rail car. And that farm that's for sale is right on the railroad. It would have been a prime location for that kind of thing back in the day. Don't know if they ever did it there, but that's what those people's big deal is. They sell hay all over the country. What?
And then there were 4.
Look at the head on that thing over there.
Hey, Chris.
All right, Johnny, I've got my one question for you for the night. Good evening, Mr. Paul and Mr. Brian. I haven't got to meet you yet, but good evening. So I know that for us newbie people like me, you got to have 1,000 and you've got to have so many watch hours before you can get monetized.
Well, there's another. You can get monetized before, but it's 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and that's to get monetized for what you call your super chats and your super stickers and things like that. But then to get AdSense monetized, which is where you get actual money from people viewing your videos and seeing the ads and stuff like that, you've got to have 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. That's correct.
My question is on that one is that when you go to your analytics and you know how it gives you like within the last 28 days, it gives 300 for a year. Do you look at the total number, or do you, like the year or whatever? Or
365 days.
365. All right, sir. Also, I don't know if you can see it, but I think I found your color.
It looks
like it may be.
That's as close.
I'll chip some paint off my GTO and bring it to.
No. What my plan though is that I'm planning to bring this to Mid America, and so that you can look at it, because I know the light, because the color, I don't know if you can see it if I get in even closer, but it's anyhow. I'll show it to you at Mid America, and you can see or whatever.
Yeah. And along your same question that you had a while ago is, I see a lot of people who will be, they'll be concerned. They'll say, well, my watch hours are dropping, or my, how can my watch hours drop, or how can my, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's based on 365 days. So if you had a really cool video that came out 363 days ago, or, it had a lot of, watch hours and stuff on it, and then 2 days later, all of a sudden your numbers drop, it's because you're outside of that year on that one. And so you got to continuously keep stuff going to try to keep your watch hours up. So taking a YouTube break, like I hear a lot of people doing and stuff like that, can actually hurt you. Man, we're rolling. So
Hi, Tony.
Johnny, I'm gonna skip out so there's room for other people, and I gotta.
I've got plenty of room, Brian.
I gotta go take Dexter out anyway.
Okay, Brian. Well, I'll talk to you.
So I'll see
talk to you tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
See you later, Brian.
Bye. Bye, Tony.
So,
Tony.
How you doing, Paul? Chris? Janae?
Tony, Jenny.
Hey.
howdy. So,
Howdy, y'all.
howdy. So, just remember that, people will say, well, how can you lose your watch hours? How can you do this? How can you do that? Well, that's how.
Okay.
Another thing is they actually do audits on your views, and sometimes your views will drop. You'll have X amount of views on something, and then you look at it the next time, it's got 15, 20 less views than it had before, and you'll wonder what happened there. Well, that's an audit of the views. That could be because somebody didn't. I'm getting an echo somewhere. Who's that?
My name's Tony.
My money's on Tony.
He's outside. Nothing else in this. Hold on. That is muted, so no, it's not me.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Muted.
All right. So, but anyway, so sometimes they'll do an audit and they might pull some that they're turning off, says Andy. They'll do some stuff that will say, they'll take away, they'll look at it, see if it's an actual view or if it's a bot view. And when I say bot, like a robot, or if it's if somebody watched it long enough for it to be considered a view. You see what I'm saying? And then some of those may come back. So the next day after that, you might see some coming back. Bye, Chris.
He gone.
So, well, he back.
What happened?
I'm mysterious. I had to let Tony get up there because Tony's, above me,
I don't think that's how this works.
No.
So the reason why I was
Hey,
asking Mr. Johnny is because I have 365. I have on the watch time hours 995.4, but the subscribers I've got still to go because I've only got, I think, 200. Well, I've got 205 subscribers, so I've still got a ways to go. But I was just making sure that if I look at the 365 or you look at the 90 or the 28 or whatever. So I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, 365. And everybody, if you hadn't checked out Chris at Texas Raider, check out that channel, please. And yeah, if somebody doesn't mind, if they could put Chris's link in here, I
I think
think
Miss Amy did, but
I'll have to go and see if I can subscribe to you.
Mhm.
Maybe. I'm gonna look at your stuff and see if.
I'll put it up
No,
again for
I'm
you. I dropped
subscribed.
it up earlier.
the only other question regarding your model that I'm building
Yeah.
is that I've got your wheels to match your wheels.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. It comes with the slick tires. The only problem is that they have the logo M/T. If I can get this box open.
M4.
MT.
Oh, MT.
Yeah.
That's what mine are.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I just didn't know. But because I was looking at your trying to watch videos, and that you know, and all that, and then that last street race you were doing, I'm like, yeah, I had to make a whole new folder for your pictures of your of your PTO because I've got so many pictures of it. But it's
Yeah,
only
they're MT tires. Mickey
Okay.
Thompson slicks.
I don't
29,
know.
5, 10, 5, 15, 3062S. Yep.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
Up there at 12
Yep.
o'clock in the position.
Yeah.
And then the get it in there. I'm trying to get zoom in. There's the wheel itself.
Uh-huh.
It's got the circles in it.
Yep. And
Front
they're
tires.
already wrinkled up.
Yep. Then the front tires are back over here are the same.
Yep.
If I can.
That's cool. Yeah, I see it.
Lori, I'm live streaming with Johnny.
I had to get a.
All right. Now I know what's going on.
I had to get a special deal to get it stuff. What do they call it?
What's this called?
Not printing, a lot laser, but oh heck!
I don't
I had
know.
to have a person actually make these. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Chris,
cool.
how's the pooch?
Ah,
Mhm.
she's killing me because it's like out of all these years when she goes outside and comes back in, she's like, okay, I'm ready for my hot dog. Well, I can't give her hot dogs anymore.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You can't do this, you can't do that. So long story short, she's doing fine. I've got to that is another question for the panel, is that I was using my iPhone to try, and we ran to the local Sonic, and so I took a screenshot of her sticking her head out of the truck, being herself, and then I did a short little video. But then I couldn't figure out how to flip the phone around so I could continue with the video. But I've
when
got
you
a
figure that out, let me know.
what do y'all recommend for that is easy, that somebody that doesn't know a whole heck of a lot about a whole heck of a lot, what do y'all recommend to use for editing software?
Video shop is what I use.
Mhm.
What's
There you go. Oops, I lost it. Which one?
Video shop.
Video shop. Okay.
Is what
so?
I
What
use.
what kind of phone do you have?
iPhone 11.
Okay. iMovie.
Mhm.
There you go,
iMovie.
Paul. There's Faith. Being faced, sticking her head out,
Paul
Use
Hunter was
iMovie.
asking in the comments. So
Video shop. Okay. And then iMovie is what Johnny's suggesting.
Use iMovie.
That's the easiest with a phone.
Is that through YouTube or is that just a different app?
See, when we bought our iPhones, iMovie was loaded, but you can go to the App Store, get iMovie, and what iMovie is basically a video editing software for Apple products.
Okay.
So it's what I use on everything.
All right.
And I have an iMac. What I'm on is an iMac right now, and I can do pretty much almost everything I want to do with iMovie. So I mean, you've seen the editing and stuff like that I do, and it's a pretty good program.
I downloaded it, but I know it's dark. But
Yeah, you have to play with that stuff a little bit, Chris, because it takes a little bit of learning for an old dog like me.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you're going to be down at Eufaula,
yes, sir.
I will show you how to edit some stuff on your phone.
I appreciate that.
Like what we can do is we can shoot some video. I can show you how to actually edit a short, not just take a clip of something and put it up as a short.
Yeah, I wing it.
Show you how to actually shoot video and create a short that is 15 seconds long, but may have been off of something that we shot that's 5 minutes long, and it's stuff from the first minute and the last of the video.
Yes, sir.
So, I can show you how to cut, paste, how to, change the volume, how to, put in transitions, music, whatever you want to do. We'll create something on your phone while you're there.
There's some other recommendations there in the chat. I think they all work. It's kind of whatever a person can get used to. The thing I really like about it, iMovie, or I think CapCut works the same way as the video shop. You can work on ones that are in your phone, then you save it to your phone and then upload it. And mine has a place in it where it says you can upload it right to YouTube from here off of the video shop. It has never worked.
Mm-hmm.
You can't load nothing to YouTube off of video shop, but it'll save it to my phone's camera roll, and then I can use it on YouTube.
Right.
But for some reason, that other deal has never worked that way. So
yeah, main thing you want to on using your phone or any device is make sure that you don't use up too much of your storage. If you get one too full, they get real wonky and stuff like that. So usually I delete pretty much.
Are you talking about storage on your YouTube
on your device? On your device, whatever your device is.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm trying to do, because I've got 24,000 some odd pictures and I'm trying to go through them all.
Right. And what's really odd is you can look at those pictures and you can see how big it is, how many megabytes or whatever it is. Right. And you think, well, if I delete this, do that. I don't care. Oh, wait a minute.
You'll always wind up with videos like this that you'll want to keep on your phone. You were singing a song to somebody else.
Let's see.
You got a friend in me.
Yep.
You got to let this play all the way at the end because I got Greg Duncan on here.
Oh, you got I don't care on there.
I care.
Anybody that's like me that reads lips at all.
The sweetest. I love Greg and Donna. Sweet.
We had a good time down there at Team Killer.
Yep. Like that?
Hey, y'all see him in chat? Is Greg and Donna in chat? I don't see him yet.
I haven't seen him yet.
No.
Hey, y'all, if you're out there.
The best one I've got of Paul Case is when he's talking politics.
Hey, there he is. I don't care.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh man. But
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's all going on politics. It's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
But people use all kind of editing software and stuff like that. It's just I've always had real good luck with my iMovie and I mean you can look at it seems to be doing good for me. I mean
Tony, I kind of thought when I got started talking politics, it could go either way.
Well, I've only seen one way, and I love it.
So what time is everybody coming? The ones who are coming to you, Paula. When are y'all heading that way?
Friday.
When are
You
y'all
don't
heading?
know.
Tony?
I would like to think this. I like to say we'd be there around 1. That's my goal.
1.
So yeah, it's supposed to be
Just 1.
1 o'clock.
1 a.m. tonight. 1
No,
o'clock tomorrow.
Now you know darn well I sleep. I don't take naps. I get my sleep in. But yeah, it's a 2-hour drive. So if we leave by the house by 11, we should be there by 1.
On what day?
Thursday. You knew that.
Okay, there you go. All
You
right.
knew it'd be a Thursday. That's why I didn't say. I said.
I'm trying to let you tell the chat.
Okay.
Angie done it.
The Angie done it.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Chris, when are
Lacking.
you thinking about coming?
It's a 3-hour drive. So I'm looking at Friday. The stays in hotels check in, if I remember right, it's at 3 o'clock. So either, and I mean, it's a Friday and I don't know how traffic would be in Tulsa, because one way is showing me to either go through Tulsa or I go all the way down to Oklahoma City and hit I-40 and come over. So I don't know. I figure I just don't want to be caught.
Where are you actually coming from?
Tonkawa, Oklahoma.
Tonkawa. Okay,
Yeah.
so Tonkawa is. My gosh.
That's Back to the Future.
I'm all the way, put it this way, I'm on the Kansas-Oklahoma border.
And she's going to be in a trailer, not the truck.
And it'd be on Interstate 35.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
And I think I'm 2 hours north of Tony, I think.
Yeah, you're close to that.
Mm.
But yet,
Angie, sometimes we can't even read English, let alone
Tony doesn't know how I drive, so it'd be an hour.
I used to be like that, but not when I'm hauling the trailer.
Okay.
I don't have a trailer to haul.
I think what you'll do is you'll come down. My gosh.
Yeah.
He's right in that spot where he's got to pick which way to go.
Right. If I was you, I would. Man, I would just come across. I would just come across to Tulsa
I
and
see
down
Paul.
through down 75 to Okmulgee.
Well, that's what I was
Okmulgee.
thinking.
Huh?
What's the address of the place where this meetup's going to be?
But I was just I just didn't want to be stuck in Tulsa, during any rush hour traffic, because this I ain't no city boy or metropolitan boy. I'm one of these type of things. Oh, there's a stop sign here. Wow.
Do you want to go through Oklahoma City instead?
Christine laughing.
Well, I tried to
That's
get Miss Lori's from Prepping for Heaven's Learjet, but she's using it that weekend.
Yeah.
Learjet. What's up,
I'm
Mom?
gonna miss you too, Evelyn. Yeah, Tulsa and Oklahoma City are both a pain on Fridays, but I tell you what, I've driven in both, and I'd prefer to drive through Tulsa.
Okay.
If
Well,
I'm going to drive through a city, it's going to be through Tulsa.
There was one place that when I left Tin Killer, Fort something,
Mm-hmm.
Fort Gibson?
Fort Gibson.
Yeah.
My God. And I'm an ex-police officer, but I mean, they had one-on-one going eastbound lane. They had one over on the westbound lane. Those guys were just hitting everybody. I mean, I was just like, can you say speed trap?
Yeah. See,
Hey,
Fort Gibson proper is actually quite, a ways over. And then whenever the bypass come around, they moved town proper toward the bypass, so they could catch that bit. So the Fort Gibson police instead of patrolling town, they go out there and patrol the bypass, which goes around it. And yeah, that's their deal. And you don't want to drive more than 55 miles an hour. And then whenever it drops to 45 and that construction, you want to make sure you're at 45 because they do not have anything dangling from your rearview mirror or up on your dash that can be considered a visual impairment.
Exactly.
You mean my bandanas that were my father used to wear that are hanging off of my rear view mirror and my bunny ear tag from Trey?
Your fuzzy dice and all that stuff.
Nothing hanging from your mirror.
I tried to tell him I knew Paul Case, and they go, "You know Paul Case?" I said, "Well, yeah." They said, "Sign here."
That'll get you in more trouble.
Yep.
Did you get stopped there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I guess they saw my stickers on the back windshield and said, "Oh, that's a cop. We better leave him alone."
Another one I can tell you don't want to speed through over this way is Holbert, Oklahoma. You absolutely do not want to speed through there. You don't want to speed through Stringtown if you're going south on 69.
I better get this list going here.
Yeah.
So Fort Gibson.
Yeah. Holbert.
Was it H is in Henry or C is in Charles? Holbert.
Holbert. HULBERT.
I got you.
Stringtown, going down south on 69, like if you're going to Texas. And let's see, where else? I know there's a few more I know of.
Basically, anywhere I drive in Oklahoma, just don't tell them you know Paul Case.
No, not all of them.
Well, right out here every Sunday.
Good idea.
You know I love you, Paul.
Angie.
I can feel it bubbling up from down there.
She said just flip them off like me, but don't. Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't do that.
Hey, when that happened, she didn't know he was a cop. And this cop was beeping it. It was a four-way intersection. I mean, 4 lanes intersection, and a guy was doing a full U-turn, a truck and trailer in the intersection. The people behind didn't see it. It was green for her, and the people were beeping behind her, and she couldn't move because this guy was doing a complete U-turn. He took her hand out the window and said, "Hi." When that guy left, she went through the intersection. Cop pulled her over.
Where you get in trouble when them people are beeping behind you.
Yeah.
Out. Be right back.
Oh, the guy over and did the full U-turn in the middle of an intersection.
Yeah. Right.
Now that I can't hardly believe that. Deacon Tank can't have a car that would make the trip to Eufaula.
What?
That's what she just put on here.
Hey, I watched them guys on. I watched them guys like Junkyard Digs and Pole Barn Garage, and they drive stuff that I wouldn't think you could get across my yard in across the country.
Yep. I watched a guy that got a Mustang out of a backyard, had no floor, and he put 2x4s across the whole thing and sat on top of a 5-gallon pail and drove 600 miles home.
A friend of mine told me that he took a car on his first date that him and his best friend had put the motor and transmission in it and nothing would fit, so they chained it in there.
Yeah.
And all I can think was, I bet she was impressed. He said, she married me anyway.
Angie? Angie said, Tamara, you can drive the vet and give me a ride. Yeah. I guess David probably is selling a vet. or something like, one of them from the lot or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we could yeah. One of these days, we're gonna be somewhere and Andy might get a ride in the GTO.
Should be screaming.
Yes,
Where do
do it.
Hey, I'll tell you a really quick story. I built an engine, or a friend of mine built an engine, but it was messed up. I went through it. It was supercharged. It was in a Thunderbird. We were dating. The guy said, "Hey, fix this thing for me," and he left me with the car. Anyway, we went out that night, and she was in the back right hand. No, she was in the back left hand side of the car. We were getting on an on ramp, and I won't say what highway, but I just crowded on that thing hard, doing the two-wheel drift, going all the way up the road through all the gears, 120 miles an hour at the on ramp when you get on the highway. And she was on the right side. She ended up on the left side, hanging on to all the door moldings of the car and everything in the back seat. It was funny. She was screaming. So,
No seat belts?
Huh?
No seat belts?
No, well, no, it was not back then. No, this thing was just put together. We just
they didn't have seat belts back then?
Well, they did. All the outdoor molding, everything was in the back seat, and she just tucked in the back right-hand corner, and that was it. It was game on.
They didn't have seatbelt laws. That's what it was. No laws. It was probably double nickel back then too, right?
It could have been. I didn't know that though.
None in the car, said Angie.
I can see we need to have
Hey,
all
Brian.
three. Johnny needs to have all three or however many cameras he's got from all different angles for when Angie rides in it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen Christine's had some rides in both of them. We've got a couple of 69 GTOs.
I haven't been in this one.
I tell you what, that blown 69 GTO one night we were in where were we? No, we were down in over by us.
Is that when we had to go hide from the cops?
No, that's not when we had to go hide from the cops. It was
Oh, was it a cruise night?
yeah, it was that cruise night when they were doing the
Johnny did a John Force burnout.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. They got a picture of me in the newspaper screaming.
Yeah, she was screaming in the newspaper.
We're gonna kill him.
Anyway, I mean,
man.
there was a reporter there, took a picture as we went by, and she's screaming. In the picture.
It's perfect. Yeehaw.
You got that right. Angie's feet will guaranteed be on the dashboard and squealing like a pig because she's having a great time.
When you said that Angie would get to ride in a GTO one day, I was going to ask you what police department was using GTOs.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
But
She's out there cracking up.
yeah, it's got 2 seats in it now, so it's rider friendly right now.
I pulled up to get some gas.
I rode with him in our jet boat that there was no, there's a lot of air between me and the seat in the boat and the water.
What's wrong with that? That means you're moving.
I mean, I got ready to go out. Hold on to the 3-year-old.
Hey, I don't know what it is with people today. They're just not made out of the same stuff they used to be, right?
Right.
I remember my dad driving his old 76 Chevy to work for over a week while my mom and I had pulled the seat out of it and sent it over to the neighbors to get reupholstered. And he didn't have a seat for over a week. And he drove that truck back and forth to work every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did what we had to do, you know.
The next vehicle I buy is going to have a carburetor.
Yeah, she said the next vehicle she buys is going to have a carburetor.
All right.
There you go. Smart.
I'm going to show y'all a picture. When I pulled up to the gas station, there was a white, cream color GTO. He was hauling on the back of his Ford F-150. And I asked him what year it was. I think he said 68. It was real pretty. I'll post it later on in my posts.
Cool.
It looked
Yeah.
mint condition.
Man, I came this close to coming up with an enclosed trailer a couple of days ago. But
Missed it
there's all
that much.
there's always that one guy. There's always that one person. I'll say person.
Yeah, there you go.
There's always that one person. I mean, there's nobody else bidding, but one person, and they just won't give it up.
And they probably would bid again anyway.
Yeah.
Until you're way extended.
Well, I tell you what, I saw somebody. Get this. A couple of days ago, I watched a guy. A little cut and torch setup. It was a oxy acetylene bottle, not the big ones. The smaller ones, and just a little torch setup.
Mm-hmm.
Setting on a regular old, just a dolly like you'd move a refrigerator around with or something. $575 at an auction.
I feel sorry for him.
They just kept bidding. I was like, what's this thing made of? I mean, is there something I'm not seeing here? And the guy that won, actually, I thought he was going to cry when he realized how high he went.
Well, I bet he should be.
I thought he was so happy that he got it for that.
That
No,
reminds
really,
me
I
of
thought he was
Joey.
going to cry.
Joey will
Yeah,
outbid
Joey
everyone.
would. Yeah, Joey would just keep bidding.
Don't tell.
I do not want to bid against Joey at
Yep.
an auction on
Yep.
anything. Hello, Phil So Wheels.
But then if you
From
were
Ireland.
selling, you would want Joey to bid on your item.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those roosters that I took and sold at auction, yeah, he should have bid on those.
Mhm.
But yeah, Joey
Chris?
will.
Chris, I've been looking all over, mapping it, trying to find an easy way. And buddy, you're looking at 2.5 to 3 hours, no matter what you do. 2 hours, 45 minutes, or 3 hours, easy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how far it is from my house to there, wherever there is.
Yep, you fall.
I know, but Utah is a big place. Where is the info on exactly where this meetup's at? Does anybody-
What's the park, Tony?
I just told you. I was going to tell Paul. What is it, babe?
Or something.
Deep Fork Campgrounds.
There you go. Yep. I knew Fork. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it's the Deep Fork Campground.
Yep. You're slow.
You're slow.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you
If
guys in the
If
chat.
anybody wants
Amy
the
got it.
address, there it is.
What is it?
There's the address
Oh,
for
okay.
those that need it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll let me pin it or not. Copy address here.
Now what? I'm not doing anything. Angie says I'm on my phone, butthead.
Gotta be quicker.
Woohoo! I got it. Yay! There you go.
There you
Cheers,
go.
all
There's
y'all.
the address right there. Chris put it up.
Thanks, Chris.
Red Dirt.
Howdy, Red Dirt Rooster Road.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I got a coffee cup I won from him
Mm-hmm.
at 10 Keller.
Awesome.
It's a
Red
good coffee cup.
Red Dirt probably lives, I'm just going to guess, 40 minutes south of me.
Yep.
They used to, well, not they, but our mountain home, which is Wiley and Jen,
Mhm.
probably used to live within 5 minutes of where they're at, I'm guessing.
Mauricio B, I bet you're crying if you just got done slicing that stuff.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna. I'll probably get the camper. I'm hoping to get the camper down there by 12 or 1 o'clock or so on Thursday. So hoping to anyway.
You see,
We'll
Angie.
see. I mean,
It's going to be a great weekend, Tony.
Did you see a comment? Yeah, I can see it now.
All of that peace and quiet you're going to get.
meet Angie, ignore Tony.
Love you too, honey.
Paul Honeyman says it's just a matter of time till Angie comes busting through that door and racks him over the head with something.
Angie is nicer than Tony, so go meet Angie and forget about Tony and go see what. I don't know. I don't know.
Where Tony was being really friendly.
Yes, I want to disagree a little bit with that. I can close my door. I got to lock it.
Was he disagreeing with me saying he was really friendly, or with Angie saying he wasn't very friendly?
All right, I can't get hit in the head. Just lock the door.
Just lock the door.
Got to look out for your safety, Tony.
He just locked the door.
She usually falls asleep before me, so I should be fine when I'm sleeping.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. She gets funner as the evening goes.
Well, there's a little influence on that part.
I don't know whose idea it was to make those eggs in an orange juice jug.
Yeah.
That was classic. Somebody could have poured somebody a glass of them.
Hey, it's already packed for this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. We're looking forward to it. Everybody got your muck boots?
Oh,
You're going to need them Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Your sleep machine has a kink in the tube, and just saying.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Tony shows up to Mid-America in a wheelchair drooling outside of his mouth. We'll know what happened.
Yeah.
Now, are you bringing Tony?
It's going to be 95 degrees Wednesday.
Yeah, I heard that. It's going to be hot.
You are right, Rebecca. There was a lot of good people that went to help Ronald, and the rest of us was down there praying that everything would be all right.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I need to bring, total, the total kit. So I have IVs and everything else. So I can go, here, Angie.
Yeah, you should probably do. Look over here next to me. Probably do.
Are you bringing Tony? Are you going to bring Coda and Willow?
Yeah, they always go. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we moved fast when we heard Ronald fell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I found out that Ronald fell was about the time that Ronald was walking back down there.
Yes.
Really?
About the time I found out Ronald fell.
Yeah, same here. I didn't know Angie was gone.
I didn't know anything about it. I was like, what?
Well, she's so quiet. When she leaves, it's hard to tell. But when Paul leaves, he's so loud. Everybody knows, right?
Quiet, that means she's warming up for later.
Oh.
Yeah, 95, Josh. Yeah. We're getting there. It's supposed to be pretty warm while we're down there up in the 80s. And we're not really used to that yet, because it's actually been a really nice we've actually had really nice weather. Today was very nice.
Mm.
I usually have stop, bleed, or bleed stop. Of course, I won't be there. What's that? We call that super glue here.
Duct tape.
Rhino had something happen inside his nose. It was pretty bad. And on his head.
Don't worry, Julie. I'm bringing my extra bag with me this time. So
Brian sent me a deal. He said he's 7 hours and 36 minutes from here. So, and he'll be here, and I'm going to get to show him. I'm planning on ticks, chiggers, rattlesnake, black bear, and
don't forget to pet armadillo.
Definitely an armadillo. And let's see what else. Prickly pear cactus. And
I said copperhead.
Oh, well, copperheads.
Yeah.
The copperheads are pretty tame.
Good one. Good one.
Red wasp.
Red wasp would be good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Doing red wasps and telling they're mosquitoes. Yeah.
I'll tell Jimmy to bring the
Michelle
armadillo.
Monty.
There you go. If Jimmy's got an armadillo, tell him bring it.
Well, he had one, but he threw it at her. And I was like, I could tell right away she wasn't really a redneck because she didn't catch it and fix it. You know.
Working in Texas as a police officer, working deep nights, you would always find somewhere on the road somebody take an armadillo they got ran over a hit, put it on its back, and then put a Lone Star beer, between its front paws, and yeah. You would always find one of them.
No, Paul, they aren't. Copperheads are not rattlers. And, Brian says, me, I'll walk up to all those things and try to pet it. Yeah, you will.
I don't do that.
I want to see you pet a red wasp.
No.
That would be fun. That's a copperhead.
Yeah,
That's
a copperhead.
The black ones does not bother me one bit. Let them fly around. They land on your head. Don't worry about it. Best move.
Now those little ground wasps will get you, and they're black.
I'm talking about the mud daubers.
Yeah, mud daubers won't bother you. Yeah, there's a rattlesnake.
See the rattles on the end of his tail, Paul?
Yeah.
That's a rattlesnake. Generally, copperheads are not a long snake.
No, they're pretty small.
They're usually 3 foot or under, but copperhead or rattlesnakes can get long, and there's certain kinds of them that get big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a guy picking one up in the road one time that I don't know if you could have reached around with. Well, a normal person. Yeah. There you go.
Hey, Lauren.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Get some yellow jackets. Yeah, we can find some of those too.
Yep.
So I told him to bring his rubber boots, and his boots that he's had forever that he never wears end up, I guess, getting, how rubber deteriorates over time. Well, now they're all janked up, and he told me we're going to have to go boot shopping as soon as he gets here.
Well, if you can't find any he likes, just get him a tube of that shoe goo.
Yeah. Hi, Lauren. Lauren's in here.
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Joel.
And but yeah, I'm looking forward to. We're going to go down. We're going to go down in the rattlesnakes for a little bit. I got 3 trail cameras down there that got dead batteries, and they're cellular cameras. So we got to go down there and fix them all up.
Is that one that you took care of in that one video by that tree?
That's right, exactly where one of them is. One of my cameras. We're going
Brian,
right there.
fun.
Yeah.
You're fun, brother. Have you
Have a
moved
good
before?
one.
Yeah,
Indiana Johnny Jones.
I think that dude could have struck me in the thigh if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got into a deal with snake one time. I had a bunch of cattle on some rented ground, and they got out. And what happened? The water got up and it washed out the gates on one of those huge culverts that goes underneath the I-44. And so my cattle were loose on like 200 and some acres of ground that had sort of a fence around it. And I went up there to try to see if I could coax them back through there. And then I found out why they wouldn't come. 2 reasons. Where the water washes off of that big old culvert, it had cut out about an 8-foot hole, and they had to swim out of that, and they wasn't about to swim back. And at that time, I had one of them big red Honda 3-wheelers, and I had rode through that culvert, and it was a doubled one. And the holes must have been 7-8 foot wide, 10 foot tall, maybe. And it was, of course, there's water flowing through them, and it was real wet in there. And when I came back, I just circled at the end and came back in the other one. The other one had a snake on the wall. And when I went by him, he's sticking off about this far, gonna, kiss me when I went by. And I decided to not ever go back there if I could. And that's all I have to say about that.
Hey, Brian, those 2 pairs of shorts is not going to help you one bit.
I knew he was going to leave.
Yep.
I knew he was leaving.
He
Bye,
gone.
Paul.
He gone.
He gone.
Pairs of shorts are not going to help you when you're out there. You better put some pants on.
Yeah, you're gonna want pants.
And some spray for the ticks and the chigger.
Yeah, we're gonna perm it on down. Yeah, we got to do a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put bells on you and all kinds of things. That's so I can hear it jingling when the bear's dragging you off.
You know which way he took you.
Yeah, I know which way.
It'll come for you in a day or 2, believe me.
Oh my goodness.
You're so mean.
But anyway, does anybody have any more questions about YouTube at all? Because I did throw up that little thing about that. I know. Did you get any of yours figured out, Tony?
I spent 2 days messing with YouTube and Google. They did send me a PIN number, which I just did today, finally.
Okay, good.
Now they want me to do to click on and paste a AdSense code to what I don't have. I don't understand where they want me to put it. So that's where I'm at now. So my kids were going to be here maybe in a couple of weeks, and they said they'll try to look at it with me and see what they're talking about because I don't.
Just bring it with you down to the deal. We'll be there. We'll have time to mess with that stuff. Yeah, they're gonna be. There's a few little hoops they make you jump through, as
right.
we were talking about earlier. But you've got some funding in there, and you don't want to lose it.
Well, I know I already lost that first part. The second part. The first part's still there. Actually, because I did a pin, it shows me back to being monetized again, but it told me I've got, I don't know if it's 40 days. I think it's 40 days to figure out the rest. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, now that I would say the first one I'm thinking was maybe October, November, which that is still sitting there. But the next month is gone, and that was quite a bit of money. And I was like, yeah, well, whatever. It's not come back at all since I've got back. Since it shows me monetized, it's gone.
Right.
It went down to 9 cents, and they took it back.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
Tony,
Julie Cook, did you see that
Oh.
street race video that I did?
You talking to me? I didn't hear you.
I was talking to Julie
Okay.
Cook. I was just wondering if she saw that one. That was a cool race. That was Tony. You should have been there, buddy.
You don't know how many times I've already kicked myself in the.
Mhm.
You should have been there.
I
mean, it was
It was awesome.
it was wild.
Oh.
thank you,
Man.
Julie.
I looked at it like 2 times. I can be there in an hour 45 minutes, and I said no. I got other stuff I got to do. And then you said go. I said no. And then Christine, I think, text or something. I can't remember. I text her maybe, and I was like, oh God, I knew I should have been there. Especially when you beat Reaper, I was like, oh, I would have laid some cash on that one.
Yeah, there
So when
was.
you were in the finals, he goes, "You should go live." I'm like, "Yeah, right." There's a bunch of crazy people.
I did say that. Go live for the finals.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have done that with those people.
Yeah,
I was waiting to get shamed every few
Paul was waiting to hear. Loved hearing the excitement in your voice.
All I know is that I'm never
She
going to.
does. She gets excited about that stuff, man.
When you beat Reaper, to hear her yell and scream, I was like, dang it, I knew I should have been there.
Yeah, whenever I ran that little truck, the little truck was the odds-on favorite to win the entire event.
That was
That
cool.
was the one that everybody said that's they're going to be the winner. They're going to win this deal. That's it. You know, might as well go home type deal. And I drew them in the third round. I was like, well, I told Chris down, I said, well, we might be going and getting barbecue right after this somewhere.
And what did I say? Every time. Get out of your own head.
So anyway,
Funny is people know your car now. They know what's up.
so I'm over there. I was talking to. She went to get me a hamburger.
Yeah, you bet.
She went to get me a hamburger, and she took the truck keys with her. So I'm sitting over there at my car, and I'm sitting there thinking, and they're over there. They got the laptop out, and they're retuning that little red race truck. You know, they're retuning it, doing all this stuff. And I told Gordon, my buddy Gordon, I said, I need a bottle for this next pass. He goes, no, you don't need a bottle. No. I said, Gordon, the ducks are all gone. I'm racing that truck right there. They're over there tuning the far out of it right now. I said, I've got to have the bottle for this pass.
Is that when I left, we were all in agreement you weren't going to do it. Right? We were all in agreement. We had made a decision as a team.
So anyway,
Things change as the moment goes through.
Aren't you glad I put the bottle in it,
I'm
though?
glad you put the bottle in. But
All I can tell you is after watching that video, I'm never going to get in an arm wrestling match with Christine.
No, that Paul Honeyman, what ended up skidding in behind me was the Camaro. That was Reaper.
That was Reaper. Yeah.
The little red truck is the one I ran in the third round.
Yeah.
So it was the one that he tried so hard that he put too much to it, and I drove out of his life.
so, Chris, are you saying that about the arm wrestling because I can heave a tire?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was down for 2 days after. That's what you don't know.
Oh.
You're young.
Amy said she chunked that tire on there like it was nothing.
Yeah, she did.
Donnie, when you were, I can't remember, it was either you were leaving your property or somewhere, you had the trailer go by your right side. I went, there's going to be a flat tire. And I said that. And then after the video, I said, I told Asia, I told you there's going to be a flat tire. Something told me a flat tire.
Well, we didn't plan it.
No, I know that. But something told me.
Down?
Yeah, you can see her trying to wave me down after I drove past her. She got out of the vehicle at McDonald's to run in and grab our food, and I was just going into the next parking lot over because there was no room to park in the McDonald's lot. So I was just going into the next one, and she's back there behind me waving her arms because I got a flat. Then she called me on the phone, and I'm glad she did because I was able to get out and get the jack, and it was a 5 minutes, folks. That's how long it took us to get that tire changed, be on the road.
Well, you flunked NASCAR because they're at like 13 seconds.
Yeah, but we're not NASCAR.
They're not
We're-
NASCAR, Tony.
We're two old people on a
On a GTO.
At least this year Christine didn't need oxygen because of the cost of nitrogen. But
You
yeah.
did get the tire, right?
Huh?
You did get that tire fixed?
Oh no, not yet.
Okay.
Live on the edge, so
I haven't pulled the trailer anywhere. I
It's a
mean,
new tire, not a fixed tire.
I need to get a tire because that tire, it's got a piece of metal in it that wide.
Really?
I don't know where we picked it up, but we had to have picked it up from the car wash to McDonald's, which would have been a mile.
When was the camera? I got to look back at it. Was the camera you had set when you're leaving the car wash when the trailer went by it, or was that at home?
Where the trailer went by, that was at home.
Okay, all right, because that's when I said there's going to be a flat tire.
Yeah,
And
we were at home. I was just driving, moving the trailer, doing that camera angle stuff here and there.
Hey, there's David, country boy with his paint buffer.
Howdy, David.
Man, I've seen that blue was it 250 you had sitting there? I was like drooling. I was like, no, I ain't spending money. I'm not doing it.
What year?
It was what was that? A 13, I think? I can't remember. But it was a 6.7. It was blue. It was nice. Very nice.
Yeah, you need to drop back about 13 years or more.
No, I know. But when I seen it, the color, it just like, wow, I like that.
Yeah, you need to drop back a few years.
Yeah. Get out electronics. Be in the area of where Chris and Amy are at on theirs.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
You need to drop back. Yeah, drop back.
I see the car Angie was talking about, Tony, on Dave's thing, a country boy and his paint buffer. I think it's a 2003 Vet.
No. I was looking at the truck. The heck with the Vet.
Oh, look.
I will never own a Chevrolet product in my life.
It's got to be Ford, right?
You ain't got any money, Tony.
I'm actually going to hit you up, babe, on that. I knew she needs her car first, and she's going to buy a Chevrolet, but oh well. Best part about it is I'm not going to work on it.
Hey, Ann, how are you doing?
What's Angie gonna do?
I don't know. She's a Chevrolet person.
I think she would look really good in one of them new Broncos, but a 2-door.
Oh my God! Yeah, I've seen it. The full size Bronco. I love it.
Yep, she'd look sharp. I mean, sharp.
You look sharp driving a truck. You just need to go to and from work and make it survive.
It's nice, Dave. It's nice. It almost looks like the body type. That 2003 Vet almost looks like the body type of the 80s Vets. With a little modern flair on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not a Vet person at all.
Me either. Never have been, never will be.
Well, here's the Vet don't bring much scrap metal price.
Huh?
Yeah, it's fiberglass.
Scrap metal price.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Vet. All right, Ann. Ann, I've got some more. I'm actually thinking about trying to get one to come out, maybe get another one to come out, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see if I get it done. But I've got to get my next Friday one going. I think I've got 3 auctions videoed right now that are just sitting in my bank right now.
That auction that you and I went to, I was actually heading in. I just didn't feel it. It's sitting there. I just didn't feel it at all. That's why I never put it out.
Now what?
The video you and I went to,
You haven't got yours out yet.
I just didn't feel it. It just wasn't working with me. So I just said, if it's not working, don't put it out.
Okay. So, but yeah, I tell you what, the one I went to Thursday was amazing. I mean, it was a really great auction. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one
And
where
there's
you got
a lot of eye candy in that one, which, you know, like it was, when I say eye candy, it doesn't have anything to do with women whatsoever, dear. It has to do with the stuff that they had for sale. And I brought home quite a bit of stuff from that one.
I am.
So
Is that the one where you got the barbecue grill?
no, that's the one I put out. What? I already put that one out. I'm talking about video ones that I've been to that I haven't put out yet.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm old. Yeah,
Nope. I've got three auctions right now that are all filmed. I just got to edit them all and get them all out. Mustangs are good. Where'd that come from?
That like Eleanor, that car, you know.
I'm
that.
with you, Johnny. I'd rather drive a muscle car than a vet. Yeah.
Yep.
And
yeah.
Mustangs aren't muscle cars, so there's that.
Who said that?
They're not.
They're pony cars.
There's never been a Mustang that was a muscle car.
Okay.
Muscle car, Mustangs are pony cars. They're the same as Camaros. Camaros are pony cars. Trans Ams are pony cars.
Mm-hmm.
So the 6970 fastback Mustang
Is a pony car.
I'll be dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So is a Trans Am too.
Cuda, pony car. Challenger, pony car. Chevelles are a muscle car.
What about a Ford Pinto?
Ford Pinto's a Ford Pinto. it's a fire waiting to happen.
I remember those gremlins. Those gremlins.
429 Boss, pony car. It's all about the construction of the car. It didn't have anything to do with the engine. Muscle cars had full frames.
Roadrunners.
Mustangs don't have full frames.
Who are you making mad?
Probably everybody. Yeah. There you go. Push that, not full frame.
He's right. The Mustangs don't have full frames. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I'm going to say the Torinos did have full frames, but you're going back into I'm going to say the mid '60s, not late '60s. Well, I don't know, maybe late '60s. No, he's right about it. They're unibody, same as the Falcons, and
Right.
those things are all unibodies.
They called all those unibody cars pony cars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why even a Camaro, like you said, Camaros, because all they have was that front section that you lower down on the front ends. All was a frame on the front end, right?
Yeah, they got a you know a rear, just like the Mustangs. They got a little bit of a frame right over the rear end.
Right.
But the floorboard is the only thing that you've got to stiffen those cars up.
Yeah.
Because you start breaking them at the corner of the door whenever you put a lot of power to them.
Roadrunners are like a unibody also. They have the frame at the front that you drop the whole front end down on. They are a complete unibody.
So I guess that would be also for like a Superbird.
Yep. There's no frame under them. It's a unibody. I'm trying to remember a channel I used to watch all the time. That he rebuilt nothing but Dodge products. Gosh darn it. Babe, I know you know who it is. Put it in there if you remember. He's over in Seattle, and his whole thing is building old Dodges, all of it. And I used to watch him all the time.
Is he still got a channel? Because if you figure it out, let me know.
He was on maybe he was on TV for many years. Gosh darn, yeah, Graveyard Cars. Here we go. Yep, that's it. Yep, Mark. I forgot his last name. His first name is Mark. Graveyard Cars. He had a TV show, and now he does YouTube with some of his car builds, and very famous guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, Mustangs are a lot of fun and stuff like that. And I'm not, and nobody is going to say that they aren't fast. They are fast, you know, like Camaros and Trans Ams and all that stuff. They can be really fast, and that has nothing to do with that. But the muscle car theme was all about having a car that was it was an intermediate. It would be like an intermediate sedan type car, full frame, typically Coke, you know, the Coke bottle shaped type cars and stuff like that. And they just had a larger engine in them. So they started putting it started off, and you guys can go back and look at this. It started off with a 64 GTO. The 64 GTO was the first car they considered a muscle car.
Oh, all right.
They put the 389 in the Le Mans Tempest body.
Yep.
And that was what they called the first one. Now, they kind of cheated with that one a little bit because they did, I believe it was Car and Driver or one of those magazines back then. Because nobody can tell what's in what size engine a Pontiac has in it, because like my engine that's in my car looks like, I mean, it could be a 326 or it could be a 455, or in my case, it's a 535.
Wow.
But it still could look like, it looked like a 326. So they said it was a 389, but it was a 421 that they had in that test car that they used. So that's how it. Paul, I'm sorry. Are you leaving? Good night, Paul.
Good night, Paul.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Now, when we were, I don't remember when it was, but I started looking for a full frame Torino, and I can't remember what years they were, but they were, I want to think early 60s or mid 60s. I don't remember what it was, but everything is unibody through Ford for quite a while.
Yeah.
Going back. Because I thought the same thing. Yeah, Mark, yeah, there you go. There, she put it in there. I used to watch his show for years.
Right.
Well, Tony, did you see the link that I posted? Is that the right one?
I did not. Hold on here.
It's right above Paul Honeymoon where he's saying goodnight.
Think of a Pontiac Tempest, I think of my cousin Vinny. Yeah, I think the actual car that they were comparing it to a Pontiac Tempest, but it's like it was a Buick. What was that car? It had an independent rear suspension.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And because when it went over the curve, it left a flat stand mark because the suspension, and I know those Pontiac Tempests, they do have the rope drive shaft and the independent rear suspension and stuff, and the old ones do. It's like a 62, 63.
Oh, Skylark, was it, David?
No.
Oh.
Can I call my cousin Vinny to find out for sure what it was? If it had,
Chris, that's it. That's
Did you
it.
see that movie?
Yeah. I love the movie. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I just saw part of that movie tonight.
My cousin Vinny. That's a classic.
Oh,
I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it in forever.
I love when he showed back up in the court and he had that weird, funky, I can't remember what it was, suit, because he couldn't wash his suit. So he went to a thrift store or something and bought this weird looking suit.
Oh, I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah.
I gotta go see it.
I love it when Fred Gwynn goes, yeah, when he goes, yeah, I want to hear more. And he, it's like, I love it. It was, yeah.
Classic.
But anyway, no, it wasn't a GMC Skylark. It was a Buick. Buick has the Skylarks. GMC didn't make any cars.
James.
GMC is a pickup. SUV manufacturer. And little known fact about GMCs is the original engines that came in the first GMC trucks was a Pontiac engine.
Wow.
Did you see what I said, Johnny? Let me look.
Johnny,
I don't see it. I'm looking back too.
I see it. Johnny Sleeper Dude is putting a 440 in a Savoy. That's it.
So Tony, the
How
reason why
far
I
up
said
was that?
It's up above Paul's bedtime comment, Paul Honeymoon, right above it. A couple.
What time was that?
I can't see the time stamp. He said Johnny Sleeper Dude is putting a 440 into a Savoy. All right.
Into a what?
Savoy.
Oh, Johnny
Can
Sleeper
we,
Dude is putting a 440 into a Savoy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I heard this way.
I
Okay.
finally saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual original GMC trucks, they had Pontiac engines in them, and they were reverse cooled as well. So they actually ran the water through the back of the block to the front. So
That must have worked really good.
well, they piped it to the back and then ran it to the front, and it was, back in the day they thought that was the thing. Yeah, they're made by GM.
I remember my grandma. She
General
did get
Motors.
me one of them. My grandma got me one of them Buick Skylarks. Can't believe that car.
But anyway, well, guys, it's 10:07, and tomorrow's Mother's Day, and we're going to go to church, and then we're going to go out to eat for Mother's Day, and then Brian is going to be here tomorrow. So you may see, I don't know, we may do a live sometime this week with Brian whenever he's here. I don't know. But also, Amy Leonard, are you still in the chat? Hit me a thumbs up if you are. If you're not, that's okay, because I understand it's after 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, she was there about 6 minutes ago. She should. Yeah, there she is.
She is here. Yeah. Hey, Amy. How about Wednesday? She'll know what I'm talking about. And the reason I'm saying that's because Wednesday's going to be in the 90s, and I can't. And I've got things me and Brian have got to get done, and I'd like to do it while it's cool. Give us a time. How about, well, Tony can come. He's right here. If you want to come to JL's, Tony, you're more than welcome. Anybody can come.
Yeah, I know. It's a 2.5 hour drive. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So anybody wants to come to JL's. So
take the helicopter,
I don't
Tony.
know. Let's meet there at let's just meet there at noon. How's that? I mean, noon straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So but anyway, because I know he wants to go to JL's, and I was thinking, well, we'll go over there, do that, and then after we leave there, I'll take him over and show him the Blue Whale and all that stuff on Route 66. And I'll drive him back around through Claremore and stuff, and then we'll swing back toward the house probably.
You talk about the Blue Whale. When I first moved here near Arcadia, there is a guy that has a it's like a museum that he opens up, and it's free to walk in. You donate money, but in his front yard, he's got a big old pond, and he has a blue whale. So originally, I thought was the blue whale that everybody talked about, but it's not. It's his blue whale he has there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we're talking 20, 30 years ago. So,
well, everybody, we're going to hop off here. Thanks for coming in. I'm sorry we didn't talk that much about YouTube. I think I will talk about it more probably the next time we do this, probably in 2 weeks. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this, and thank you guys for coming up. Thanks to all the mods out there that have kept this channel safe. Thanks thanks to all the new folks that have come in tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris, Tony, and Janae, and Paul Case, and Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse, and coming up on panel. And just appreciate all of you guys. And we will talk.
Thank you for the help, Johnny.
Huh?
Appreciate
Thank you for the help, sir.
No problem. And like I said, anybody can approach me when we go. If you got a question you don't understand, come up and ask me. We'll hash through it. I like working on stuff like that. All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Tony.
Night, guys.